Welcome to Mountain Pass. Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. This one's going to be really special because it involves something that I really enjoy doing, and that is beating rude jerks. So sit back and relax and watch the fun begin. You won't be disappointed when you see this one and how it ends. It's quite killer. So let's get to it, shall we? Alright. I'm artillery. This match has 2 tier 4s and an artillery with 12 robots. Now the guys on the enemy team, those 2 are in a platoon. And that's one of the things that makes it extra special. Because somebody thought that they were ultra special when they really weren't. So we'll take care of business very, very good. So the thing that really I'm going to be looking at here is right there. Let's see if we can get a spot from this guy to watch my handiwork. There we go. Light them up, baby. There's the enemy artillery. He's in a vulnerable position. But there's just an entire group of guys here that need my attention. Oh yeah! Now also, you'll see this is a tier 4 medium, the Vanquisher right here. And over here, one of these light tanks is his cohort in crime. So I was working on those guys. Let's get back here. There we go. Now we've switched to the tri-road area. There we go. Kablooey. Every 5.5 seconds, we're going to get drilled by my artillery. Oh, that guy's toast. So this game was good. We hung in there, you know, most of the game. It was close all the way. You know, my team wasn't, my helpers weren't really that helpful, to be honest. So it left me as the bottom tier guy in artillery to take care of business. So the Vanquisher killed an M2 medium. That light tank M5A1 Stewart, he killed another robot. How proud he must be. Now let's go back and see where I'm at. There we go. Ah yes, I'm shooting him. And I killed the M5 Stewart. Alright! Smoked you. So now, guess what? Their Vanquisher is still alive, but not for long. There you are. Come here, buddy. Oh, does it hurt? Ooh, that's gotta hurt. One more and you're toast. And he's gone. Smoked you too. So let's look at this again. As you can see, well, their platoon of superiority, in their mind, they're dead. And I killed both of them as the bottom tier artillery. And that's one of the things that it got to them. I mean, it got to them bad. They had real mental problems. They had mental anguish after the beating I gave both of them. Super fantastic stuff. So now we're here, you know, a 2-point advantage. Their artillery is also dead. All they have are robots. All their people are dead. Now there's a guy rolling up to my base. I'm going to lay the smack down on his candy ass here momentarily. Just like The Rock would do in WWE. Hello. Would you like to be my friend? Probably not. Boom. Well, one more shot and he's toast. So long, chump. This is what you call cleaning up the mess. But the Chiha, he had that cheater cannon, and so he killed me. Now we still have our robots, plus we have the Valentine. This guy wasn't exactly super outstanding. He was quite mediocre. But he did survive, and all he had to do was be mediocre. Fortunately for me. I had to do way too much, and I took way too many shots, which is why that Chiha finished me off, because I took shots from multiple different guys. Which, if these guys knew what they were doing, and they don't, I wouldn't be damaged really at all. But that's okay. The Valentine has a strong enough gun, and now they've left the base, and our dudes are capturing. Like I said, he just had to be mediocre and stop the base capture, which he did. So what you'll see here, this guy is closing in to the enemy's base. We have a guy in the enemy base already. There he is. And he's going to be joined by this heavy tank, the Type 91. So it's not spectacular in the win. Not in a, you know, magnificent visual crushing. My team was not good. It was basically myself and robots. One mediocre guy and one guy who was awful. And that's what it boils down to. We are now with 3 robots versus 3 robots. And as you can see, the game is ended. And we won. My other guys, HMC M8 0. Just absolutely awful. The Valentine was mediocre. He got 2 kills. I got 6. And here we are at the end of game medal stand. Gold, silver, bronze. So I took the gold MVP with the 6 kills and 2,000 plus damage. The Valentine, he was mediocre. And you might say his numbers are good, but he played against tier 3 guys. He was completely dominant over them, and mediocre is the best I can give him. The other guy, the Vanquisher, he was mediocre as well. He was a tier 4, but his tier 4 was special because that's what he intended, was to get what he got, because he thought he was, you know, better than he was. You'll see in a second when I get to the damage. So here we go. We're going to check out the end of game stats, you know, in detail, just to give you an idea of what was going on. Now remember, I was the bottom tier artillery, tier 3, against those 2 tier 4s. I killed 6 of those guys, including both tier 4s on the enemy team. 2,100 damage. That was very good, of course. Did great on the silver, 66,000 plus, 8,600 on commander, well above average. That was a real solid game. Didn't get anything great medal-wise. I mean, Top Gun for killing 6, Bruiser knocking out crew or modules, most damage in the game. Duelist, destroy at least 2 guys that damaged me, and I got a second-class badge. Nothing special. But when you look at here, the Valentine, he was the second-place guy overall. But without a headset, he was just wandering around annihilating inferior tanks. Actually, he didn't annihilate. He killed 3 guys total and barely annihilated the guy that he last killed and then was killed himself. He didn't really do very well. He was mediocre, and I'm being kind when I say that. Our HMC M8, that guy was awful. 110, really, dude? He was awful. Now, here we go. There is the Vanquisher. 1,300 damage, 4 kills. Mediocre, really. On the standard of a good player, that's mediocre. And this guy here, the M5A1 Stewart, this guy is a laugh riot. He was hilarious. He killed 3 lower tier robots. So the 2 superstars in a platoon, as you can see, killed 7. I killed 6. Now, as I explain to people quite often, and I do it here sometimes as well, it ain't how many you kill, it's which ones. They killed 7, I killed 6, but that was just me by myself, and those 2 guys killed 7. But the key is, in my 6 kills, let's go look at the 6 kills, shall we? There's the Vanquisher. You destroyed this enemy. You damn right I did. That's a robot. Oh, look. The M5A1 Stewart, the other tier 4 guy. You destroyed this enemy. You damn right I did. It's who you kill that makes more difference. I killed their two of their 2 best players, really. I could have killed their artillery, but I was working on the Vanquisher, really. It was my number 1 priority because he had the most armor. So this other one, another robot, Panzer 1C, another robot, Chiha, another robot, the VZ-38, I killed him, and another robot, M3 Stewart, I killed that guy too. M2 Medium, I did not kill this guy. Alright, that is the key. Who you kill is quite often more important, because I killed their number 1 scorer and their number 3 scorer. Their artillery, he didn't score any kills at all, so he was just a damage dealer. So really, I killed their number 1 and number 2 scorer. Scorer meaning, in this point, danger to your team, kills. That's why we won. But I took a lot of damage because my team wasn't able to hold their line and keep those guys off of me. But they were just good, you know, the Valentine was just good enough. Now, I guess I have to be a little bit considerate of the fact that since our M8 was an absolute bum, you know, both of us were facing more guys, more live fire than we should, because our M8 should have been doing something and he did nothing. So I can't say that, like I said, I can't say the Valentine was horrible. You know, he did okay, barely. He really should not have been killed, but maybe that's because he was also doing more work than he had to do, or should be doing, I guess. But after the game, it was hilarious, because this M5A1 Stewart idiot was sending me messages back and forth, and I told him, I go, look, dude, it was, you know, your name is Happy to Kill You. Well, I was happy to get you too, because you didn't get me. I got him. Oh, he couldn't take it, dude. It just blew his mind. He was so full of himself And it's like, I kept saying, I go, well, look, dude, you have to understand, I smoked you. And it didn't take long before he went to his typical whiner response. Well, face me in tier 10. Why would you have to go to tier 10? You were already one tier ahead of me, and you couldn't handle me. So this is the propaganda that they eat up like candy from the shill. The shill man himself always talks about top 10, or tier 10. Now here's the secret. When someone talks to you about tier 10, what they're telling you is that they want to be a bully. They want to be the top dog and beat up on lower ranked guys. That's what he wants. Well, he already had that opportunity and failed miserably. So it doesn't matter. And I told him, no matter how good you think you are, I smoked you. Just that simple. It drove him insane. I mean, it's hilarious, man. And then he goes into his projection, which is a psychological term. When someone tells you, they accuse you of doing the thing that they're actually doing. Oh, man, you're just here to beat up on people, lower ranked guys. No, that was you who did that. See, I'm going to tell you the secret. Why do you see all these tier 4 guys in these matches against, for example, myself, tier 3 artillery? Well, because what happens is if you do the statistical keeping, it's really a pain in the butt. What you'll notice is that the tier 4 tank has the lowest playing up a tier of any tank in the game. So they play the tier 4s because they know the odds are in their favor of being top dog. It's not 100% like it is in tier 10, but it's very high. And that's why they were in a tier 4 platoon together. Well, if they're tier 10 players, why are they playing tier 4s? I just told you why. They couldn't get what they were looking for at tier 10, probably because they got beatings. Tier 10 is a fantasy, okay? There's nothing special about tier 10 except for the fact that a tier 10 guy is at the top of the heap. He's a bully. He's going to be beating up on tier 8s, padding his stats. That's really what it boils down to. It isn't complicated. The games take forever. If you want to work on a long haul, doing it in a tier 10 is not exactly the most efficient manner to do it. So it's really hilarious that why is he complaining about me kicking his butt? Smoked him. And that's the phrase I used repeatedly, and it just was super hilarious. Both of them. I smoked both of them. I go, I didn't kill just one of you. I killed both of you. Superstars. What's up, superstar? Not one of you could get me. I was shot by 4 or 5 different guys. Okay? Neither one of them was those guys. I concentrated on the Vanquisher, and then when I got a chance to hit the Stuart, I was on him like white on rice. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm here to help my team. See, I'm not a crazy psychopath who thinks that he's something ultra special when that guy's just another mediocre player. Dude, you're in a tier 4 with your partner. You're both in a platoon, and the bottom tier artillery smokes both of you. You have severe mental problems. I'm just letting you know right now. I mean, he doesn't know me very well, do he? But it was just really funny because that was the secret, is that him and his buddy came down here to try and beat up on guys for whatever they were doing. I don't even know, trying to pat themselves on the back. Me, I'm just working on long hauls, working on building my commander. Actually, my commander is what I was working on. I had just swapped out this commander skill set from my 38H. And I had a 7-slot commander skill in this Sexton, and then I swapped it to one of my American tanks for the Normandy invasion. And so I got the 4 skills here from my 38H so that I could use them. These are the only 4 that I need to build my commander in my Sexton. I have the minimum reload time, I have the maximum accuracy, and I get the maximum points per game, 10% with the quick learner bonus, 10% with the enhanced rations, plus my 30% commander. It's a 50% commander bonus every game. I average $5,000 plus a game. So as you can see here, after this game, I got 140,000. So I have like 28 games or less. Could be 24, whatever, depending on what kind of games I get. But I'll average 5,000 plus per game. So within 28 games for sure, I will have another skill on this commander. That's the main goal. I use my Sexton artillery. I don't use it with a 9 skill commander, which you would think that I would if I really wanted to try and squeeze every last drop out of the lemon. But I don't need that. So when I'm doing all these games you saw, 10 kills, 11 kills, 12 kills, 13 kills. 13 kills, I think, was 6 commander skills. That's the highest I've ever used in there, really, for any of those. I had 7 briefly, but then I swapped it out so that I could work on making this 4 into a 6 for sure. And then I'll probably knock off a 7th skill and then shove that guy into some other tank. Because that's what I do in my Sexton artillery, is I work on commander skills. Because, well, look at the scoring. That's 8,600 a game. If I have a good game, like this was a really good game, so 8,600 was tremendous. But it's 5,000 plus. Almost every game. You know, sometimes if my team is terrible and we lose, I might get 2,500 or whatever. It isn't me. It's them. That's the problem. I can't win every game because it's not possible. But when I get jerks on the enemy team, oh baby, at the end I found out that was just a jackpot and a half. So this is the dude, you know, that I'm using with my 4 skills to be pounding what have you, because the only things I'm missing is the armor angling and the clutch braking to increase my my hull rotation. So when guys roll up on me fast, I would be at a slight disadvantage. Not terrible, but that's just the thing. But the one thing I wanted to tell you was, you know, and show you was the fact that I crushed these guys, and it was so magnificent. Because after the fact, I found out that they were absolute jerks. And so I gave them a steady diet of I smoked you. I smoked you. Yes, but I smoked you. Every time I said it, I could tell pain was happening. Because these guys are psychopaths. They think they're freaking special. If you're so special, why do you have to go and gang up on in tier 4s? Well, I mean, it happened the last week when myself and Iron Knight and Bernie were fighting some guys, and they claimed to be special. They were in a 3-man platoon of Panzer 1Cs, and we annihilated them. These guys are just mentally unhinged and are enthralled with their own mediocrity. They think they're something special when they're not special. Because they think they can just roll up as a special group of garbage players who they were garbage. Yeah, I mean, they're the fastest tank on the field. That's great. Okay, that's fine. But guess what? That doesn't make you good. And once again, I will say it again for you if you didn't catch it. The reason we won that game with the 3 Panzer 1Cs, once again, wasn't how many you killed. It's which ones. And we killed the important ones. That's the key. It stems from killing the important enemy. So when you're playing a match, you need to pay attention to any players you might recognize their name, because there are some players that I play. Some I play against. Some are my friends. Some are players I played against. Good players. So we always know that if you play someone who's good that is good, you got to be careful. This guy's a problem. He's good. You already know that. Because we get into matches of different guys on the enemy team. Fish or Wrong Way or Big. Sometimes Brownie shows up on the other team. It's a real nightmare when you're fighting these guys are good players. And other players that I know as well that, I don't really mention to you personally here. Iron Knight, he and I have played against each other from time to time randomly. Usually when we find that out, we'll just gang up together and go, hey, let's just go play 2 players. He's like, oh, that's the way to go. I didn't know he was on, or he didn't know I was on, whatever it was. Because it's a lot better to go with your buddy versus them going versus your buddy. So you got to be careful of who's, dangerous. And, every tank that you're in, there's going to be a certain tank that's going to be kind of dangerous to that tank. So you want to be careful of those guys. In artillery, the thing you have to watch out for, number 1, super fast guys. Panzer 1C, for example. Thresher is another pain in the butt for artilleries. Anything higher tier than you have to take a look at and say, well, okay. Now a B2 or a DW2 for a Sexton, those tier 4 heavy tanks are tough. They take a lot of shots to kill, like 8 to 10 shots to kill them. So you got to be aware of that right from the get-go. And you get a chance to shoot them, you better shoot them. Or hope that you have other guys in position to take care of that. So there's things you have to understand to execute wins against teams that are stacked against you, which happens to me a lot. I fight tier 4s where they're stacked against me, like this match I just showed you, and other tier 4s where they're stacked against me. And I have to use my guys to help me. Usually I'm by myself, like this game. I didn't have any platoon guys, so I've got to be on the ball and pay attention both defensively and offensively, which I did a stellar job on the offense, killing the 2 biggest threats that they had, which made the win way easier because they didn't have anybody left. All their players were dead. All they had was just robot. So that was the thing that made it so fantastic, was that I got to drill those guys for about a half an hour in text messages. Just, it's like pinching a guy and twisting it. There's nothing you could do. All I'm just telling you is the truth. If you're so good, how did I kill both of you? Maybe you're great. Well, guess what? That means I'm better than you, son. There's no way you could look at that and go, you were just lucky. Nah, you saw the action yourself. You saw it. There wasn't any luck involved. That's the problem for them. They knew it wasn't luck. They came in there with a big head, and they found out that they weren't as big as they thought they were. So, as my father once famously said to my brother when my brother was about 6 years old, he said, "Little man, you're getting a little too big for your britches." My brother was a genius, even at that early age. He's like, "Oh, does that mean you're going to buy me some new ones?" Now that is awesome comedy right there, off the cuff. So I hope you enjoyed this game. Hope you enjoyed the video. Really hope you enjoyed the story. I had not, planned to tell you my brother's genius. Really, it's his first joke that really had any meaning. And that was a tremendous one about 1970. So, really killer stuff. But I always love beating overconfident jerks. Nothing thrills me more than that. Because it's like, it's the gift that just keeps on giving. And that guy just kept giving me all kinds of praise without realizing that's what he was doing. And if I had only had any of my teammates in the platoon, oh man, it would have been even better. it would have been super fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun for one guy to handle on his own, which I was luckily up to the task. But it would have been better if I would have had someone like Wrong Way or Brownie or Iron Knight or Bernie or Top, any of those guys. They would have enjoyed it extra special. Fish as well. You know, those guys would have enjoyed it because they enjoy it too. There's nothing like beating a guy who whines like a baby because he wasn't in his top 10. I mean, his tier 10 tank. And that's what was hilarious. Catch me in tier 10. I'm like, I caught you here and you were ahead of me and I already busted your butt. So what's the big deal, bro? You ain't that special. You know, his dream is that he'll be a bully 2 tiers ahead of me. Well, where's the skill in that? The skill, which I have done myself, is to be the tier 8 and MVP a tier 10 match. That is super difficult. And it's not really fun. It's so difficult. I mean, it's one of those things. It's a nice relief that you pulled it off, but it's not fun because it's super difficult and you got to have a lot of help and catch some breaks, man. I'm telling you. So it's like, it's just not worth it. The hassles, I'm just doing my stuff, working on my long haul, building my commander. You know, if you want to go do these crazy matches, go do those crazy matches, but go do it somewhere else because I'm not doing it. It's not worth it. So that's just my personal opinion. You guys do whatever floats your boat. My recommendation to you, play what you enjoy because nothing is better. You don't have to go play, you don't have to work your way to get tier 10 to go play tier 10. It's not any fun. I'm going to be honest with you. If you don't know that already, well, whenever you get there, you'll go, well, you know, he said it really wasn't any fun. There's exceptions to that rule, of course. But the bulk of the tier 10 matches are not fun. Just that's the way it is. So don't kill yourself. Play what you enjoy. If you enjoy playing tier 2, play tier 2. If you enjoy playing tier 6 because you have a personal favorite, play tier 6. Doesn't matter what it is you play. Play what you play for fun. You're not there to impress anybody else. If you are, you're not doing it for you. You're doing it for somebody else. I don't do it for them. They ain't paying me. It would help if you could leave a like for this video to help spread the word and let others get this message. I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please tell your friends if you would. That way they can, you know, learn what happened here. Catch the break of getting a few jokes as well. And maybe they'll leave a like or subscribe, what have you. So look forward to seeing you guys again in another video. That'll be fun and or exciting, as well as other classic shorties. So see you guys later, but I got more stuff to do.